Hi everyone, welcome to our next tip of the week. This week we're going to be focusing on a verbal reasoning question called middle number. Interestingly, in verbal reasoning for GL assessment, there are actually 4 question types that are number related. There's letter sums, there's balanced equations, number sequences, and then this one, which is often referred to as middle number, does have other names, things like number associations or number connections. But the idea behind these questions is that children have to work out the middle number by using the 2 previous pairs and working out the rule. Certainly does test children's knowledge of basic arithmetic, recognising number patterns, and are often used within GL assessment examinations. So we're going to have a little look at 2 examples today and talk about how we would want the children to approach them. So the first thing to recognise is we've got 2 pairs here. So we've got 2 numbers on the outside and then a number in brackets in the middle. And what we have to do is use the numbers on the outside to make the number in the middle. Now sometimes it may be 1 operation, sometimes it might be 2. So just thinking about what operations we need, we've got addition and subtraction, and then multiplication and division. Sometimes in connection with timesing, we do think about squared and also cubed numbers as well. So the first thing to think about is how are we going to arrive at that number in the middle? Now, if the number is smaller than the numbers on the outside, then we are going to have to subtract or divide. The other thing to think about as well is that sometimes we may have to use what we call a double operation. So we may have to do 2 things. For example, we might have to say double the left-hand side and then divide by the right-hand side. So we can think of these slightly algebraically as well, but the most important thing is that children can identify what is happening and how we've achieved that number in the middle. Now, just looking at this first example, we can see that the numbers on the outside, if we were to divide those numbers, we would arrive at the number in the middle. So division facts are really important here. So 108 divided by 9 gives me 12. I do need to just check that this works on the other side. 69 divided by 3 gives me 23. And if you want to, you could always use your inverse. So we could say 3 23s are 69, 9 12s are 108. So if we come onto this side, we need to do 84 divided by 12. It is important, of course, that children know their times tables. And certainly in this instance, if a child knows that 7 12s are 84, then they will be arriving at the correct answer. So we'd certainly recommend learning your times tables to support a really good, strong knowledge of this question type. Moving down to the second question. Now this is a little bit more difficult because, as you can see, 25, for example, subtract 9 doesn't get us to 8, and it certainly doesn't work on this pair. So we're going to need to think about 2 different operations here. 25 take away 9, so I'm just going to write that down here. And we can all work out very quickly. That, of course, gives me 16. Now, 16 is double the number that we have in the middle. So what we might need to do then is divide it by 2. And that will give us 8. So as you can see, I've done 2 separate operations here. I've done subtraction and then I've done division. Does this work on the other side? Let's see if it does. So 30 take away 12, and I'd like to think most children can do that in their heads. They get 18, so that's the first part done. And in order to get back to the middle number, we're going to do 18 divided by 2, and that does give us 9. So fantastic. We know that that is the rule, and what we would need to do then is apply it over here. So we've got 50 take away 16, so let's write that over here. 50 take away 16, again we'd be hoping that a child probably could do this in their head, is going to give me 34. And then we're going to do 34 divided by 2, simple doubling really for lots of children, and that gives them 17. So 17 would be the middle number. Certainly with these questions, having a really strong knowledge of addition, subtraction, division and multiplication facts is really important. Also, the more that children do of these, the better they do get. Certainly also recognising things like squared numbers and cube numbers can also be something they need to look out for. Hope you found the tip of the week useful this week, and the focus has been middle number. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.